my name's Lynn and this is my channel. So welcome. Today we're going to be doing a rock painting. And so if you would, get your family together, your children, your friends, go out, have a fun time hiking outside. It's very good exercise. And while you're out, pick up some rocks. And then I will show you exactly what you need to do to make an awesome little painting just like this. It's very easy. It looks hard, but trust me, it isn't hard. All right, Katy Purry is helping me give the rocks a bath. So we have some soapy water. You don't have to use soap. You can just rinse them with plain water. But I have my rocks in the water here in my sink, and I'm cleaning them up really well. And so after this, you're going to want to make sure that they are 100% dry, and then we will start painting. So for the rock painting project, I have my rock all nice and clean and ready to go. And the things that you will need are, of course, the rock. You will need a jar with a little bit of water in it. You will need a few different brushes, but not very many. So the first one is you will need a brush that has some stiff bristles. So you see that it's kind of stiff, or an old toothbrush, because the bristles are very stiff, and I will show you why as we get started. And then you will need a couple different brushes. So these ones are just some old brushes I have. They're a bit beat up and stained. It doesn't matter. You will need at least two brushes that are kind of a square shape. And then you will need at least one brush that is a little itty bitty fine brush. You will need to protect the surface that you're working on. I have a paper towel here. You will need something to put paint in. I have a palette. This one's old and beat up. But you can also use a paper plate or a plastic plate to put paint on if you do not have a palette. And then lastly, we will be working with Apple Barrel paints and Craft Smart paints. I select these for this project because they are non-toxic. They clean up very easy with water and soap, and they are fairly inexpensive. You can get them at Walmart, you can order them on Amazon, and probably a bunch of other places that I am not aware of. Oh, and one last thing. A hair dryer. Okay, so if you are a young person, please ask your parent or guardian for permission or help with this project, and especially when using your mom or dad or guardian's hair dryer. Don't just use it without permission, because that is just not cool. So the colors that you will need are white, black, any shade of light green, a turquoise color, a purple color, and a dark navy type blue. So it doesn't really matter exactly the colors that you choose, just as long as you have a variety that is very close to what you see here. So the first step in this is you are going to want to choose a brush very much like this. You're going to want to get your white paint, and you're going to want to shake it really good. Shake it, shake, 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 shake it really good. Shake it really good. All of our paints, we are going to want to shake them before we use them because it mixes them up really good. And then you will take a bit of paint, put it on your palette like so, close it up, and then we are going to put a base coat on our rock. So we are just going to kind of paint the surface completely white. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to paint over top. So if it's a little bit streaky, that is totally fine. And I am choosing to not go to the very edge. I'm leaving a little bit of a border because I kind of like to be able to see the natural rock. And these acrylic paints dry pretty quickly. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Now take your brush, mix it around in the water to kind of clean it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean. And then I just kind of dab the excess water out on my paper towel. And I will set that aside. And we're going to speed up this process by using our hair dryer. But we're not just going to sit here and be boring about it. We're going to do a hair dryer dance. So this is going to involve a little bit of exercise. So what you do to do a really cool dryer dance, turn it on. Step, we will be taking our light green color. Oh, we gotta shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. There's a lot of dancing involved with this tutorial. Shake it up, shake it up. And then you put a little bit on your paint palette like so, not very much. And then we will be taking one of our other square brushes. Dab it, just the tips, very lightly dab it in, and then we are going to go into the center of our piece and we're going to just lightly dab a little bit of green color and a little bit of a stripe in the middle. Just a little bit, you don't need a lot. I'm concentrating the heavier color in the middle, and then I'm lightly fading it outward so you get a shape sort of like that. And you can kind of mix it up a little, kind of dabbing around just a touch like this, just a little bit like that. Then we're going to put our brush into the water, swish it around, dab on our paper. And then we're going to go into the next color, which is the turquoise. We shake it up. Shake it good. We're going to put a bit on our palette. And then we are going to take one of our square brushes. Make sure it's somewhat dry. Doesn't have to be perfectly dry, just a little bit. Just get the tips in our turquoise paint, and then we're gonna dab all around like so. Just dabby dab, dab, dab. Pretty easy. You can do this with sponges as well, but I'm using brushes because that is just my preferred mode. Dab some color on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going right up to the edge with this. We're going to be layering on some of our other colors as well. So everything we put on is going to kind of peek through. Dabbing, dabbing. It's pretty fun. Just like so, and you can still see, I don't know if you can see on the camera very well, but I can still see some of my green poking through. Just kind of keep dabbing. Alright, I'm happy with that. I am going to put my brush in the water, swish it around, dab it on the paper. And then we're going to go into our next color, which is the purple. And we're going to shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake, shake, shake it. And then we're going to put a little bit on our palette, like so. And then we are going to dab one of our square brushes, I'll use the other one, into the purple paint. Just the tips. And then we're going to dab. I'm going to get closer to the edge with this one. We're dabbing. We're dabbing. Okay. It's quite a pretty color, actually. Dabbing the day away. Getting closer up to my edge. Kind of, as you can see, I'm going a little heavier with the color on the edges, and then as I kind of dab it in, I use a little bit lighter pressure. Kind of blend it. It might look like a little bit of a mess right now, but just stick with it because it will start to form into a cool galaxy night sky. Okay, I'm happy with that. Gonna swish my brush in the water. Dab it on the paper. I'll need a little more swishing. There we go. And then we are going to go into our next color, which is a dark blue. It's like a navy blue. Shake it really good. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. And then we're going to put a little bit on our palette. Weep. And we're going to use another one of our brushes, square brushes here. So far I've only used these two brushes, kind of alternating them. Going to dab into our dark paint, just the tips of our brush, and we will commence the dabbing. So the darker colors are more concentrated on the outside, and lightly blend them onto the inside. very lightly touch some of the darker colors all the way up into the middle. Just very lightly. Don't have to go crazy. Starting to look like something, right? It's pretty fun. So I'm going to intensify the outside of this just a little bit more. And I'm just kind of blending everything together. Okay, so that's a pretty good start. Swish the brush into the water, dab it on the paper, swish, swish, dab, dab. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my purple a little bit. I'm going to add a little more purple just to blend it a little more. Just a little bit. Because layering is a really important thing when you are doing like a galaxy sky. Okay. Swish and dab. And then I am going to go back into my turquoise just a bit. And we're going to dab a little bit of that because we're just kind of blending the colors together just a little bit more. And you can keep messing with this and adjusting it until you are happy. You can see everything's starting to kind of mix together a little bit better as you go in and you kind of blend. Just keep blending, blending. Blending is your friend. And then I will go back into my green just a little bit, and we hit the center one more time. Just kind of brighten it up just a little bit. Wet my brush just a little because I want to blend this. Yeah. Okay. Blending. Your patience will be rewarded at the very end. So now, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. You can continue to blend, you can continue to mix this together, but I am happy with how this has come out so far. So now, if we want to speed up the drying process, we get out our hair dryer again and we do another hair dryer dance. So it dries pretty fast because this is acrylic paint, and that's part of what I really like about acrylic paint is that it does dry very fast. So the next step will be to add in a moon. So we will be using our little itty bitty tiny brush, and we will be putting that into our white paint. And then we will determine where we want to put our moon. I am going to put my moon about in the center. So I have some paint on my brush. And I am going to just draw a little bitty, itty bitty moon. Right in the center like that. Just a simple circle. Try to get it as round as I can, but if it's a little imperfect, that's okay. And there is our teeny little itty bitty moon. How cute is that? And then the next part, I'm going to just clean off my brushes really quick. The next part, you are going to use your toothbrush or your stiff, very stiff bristle brush. I'm going to demonstrate with the toothbrush because that is pretty fun. So what you will do is you will take your old toothbrush, and this will cause a bit of a mess, okay? So that is part of why we have protected our painting area. We have paper towel down because we are going to be putting paint on this toothbrush. And then what we'll do is I'll just demonstrate without the paint, is we will be flicking the white paint like so onto the rock. So you might get some overspray, you might get paint on your hand, which is fine because this is non-toxic and you can just wash your hands. So I just dab the brush into the paint, see, like so. And then I take my thumb and I flick the paint. You don't have to get super close, or you can, whatever. You can flick it a little bit hard, you can flick it slowly, whatever you want. And you can just keep flicking until you're happy with the amount of stars you get in your sky. And I think that, for me, actually looks pretty good. So then you have paint on your finger. I'm just going to kind of gently wipe it on my paper because I will wash my hands at the very end. See, it wipes off pretty good. Just got to wipe it off for now, okay? And then you can go in to your white paint with your little brush if you want to make some of the stars just a little bit bigger. So all you do is you go dot, dot, a couple little big dots in there just to add some variety. Make those stars seem like they're a little bigger, a little closer, which is fun. Doop, 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 doop. Just like that. How cool. And now you have a night sky. Yay! And it's very cool galaxy looking. So if you want to, you can add some trees. And don't be afraid. I know that sounds a little bit hard, but it's really not. I'm going to show you how to do a few tree silhouettes at the very bottom here using the black paint. So shake it up. Shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Shake it up really good. Take a little bit of this black paint, put it on your palette. You don't need very much, just a little dab. A little dab will do you. And then you take your thin brush, you dip it into the black paint, and then we're going to start by making some just black lines at the bottom. You do one line right here. And then maybe this one's a little taller. And that one. And we'll do another shorty here. A little shorty here. You can make them any length that you want. And there. Okay? So we got some lines. Then we're going to do pine trees, which are very easy. So pine trees have a very triangular shape. So all we're going to do is pull down some branches like this. Just like that. There's one. And then we'll do another one. Usually the branches are a little bit thinner or shorter at the top, and then as they go down they get a bit longer. It's very easy. It's just a series of lines that you're putting in. Because this paint is matte, it isn't super shiny when it dries. When it's wet, it looks pretty shiny naturally. See? Shoop, 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 shoop. Isn't it cool? You can add as many trees as you want. But at the very end of this, if you want to, you can put a nice clear coat over the top of your rock painting, and it will make it shiny. And I am probably going to clear coat my rock. There are lots of different products you can use. You can find a clear coat paint that's in a spray can, and if you are a young person, please have an adult help you or show you how to use those products. There are some, I'm going to put a couple more trees in here. There are some, you know, water-based clear coats that you can find, you know, at Walmart, at Home Depot, at craft stores. And if you want to put your rock outside, I would suggest some clear coat products that are okay for being outdoors. This particular rock is going to live in my house. I'm not going to put it outside. But if you do want to put your rocks out in your garden, which is really cool and pretty, you can clear coat them, and that'll protect them because, you know, rain can ruin your painting. The sun can bleach your paint also. So some products actually have a UV protective coating. You just kind of got to go and look and figure out what it is that you would like to use. And there we have it. A completed Galaxy rock painting, which was very easy, very fun to create. And I will bring it up so you can see it closer. There. And then cleanup is really easy. You can use soap and water to clean up the paints. You can use soap and water to clean your brushes. And of course, if your hands have paint on them like mine do, just soap and water cleans it right up. It's wonderful. And there you have it. Here is the finished product. I hope you had just as much fun as I did making this cool little painting. So if you would, please like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Do you want me to do more little painting tutorials? And if so, let me know what kind of things you would like to learn how to paint. And I will do my best to show you how. Alright guys, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.